Alrighty. Well, welcome back to the stream, or if you guys are watching this later, hopefully this little stream today is interesting. I had a lot of thoughts yesterday and today as I was thinking about some of the criticism I received and was trying to do something a little bit different yesterday. And I wanted to speak to the idea of using ChatGPT to code, because it was interesting to see that there is going to be people out there that are going to hate. They think that you need to go learn the language first before you're really allowed to start trying to speak it. And it was kind of giving me a little bit of like imposter syndrome of like, oh, am I just trying to mimic a language that I don't understand? And should I be learning the actual language? And as I thought about it a little bit more, I was thinking, man, maybe I'm a little bit of an imposter here. But I had someone say something in chat yesterday, which was really kind of insightful to me and helped me kind of make sense of this. Hey, High Hopes, how's it going? And and as I thought about this a little bit more, I said, I'm not really. Hey, High Hopes. I'm just streaming right now, kind of unscheduled, just going for it, trying to get some thoughts off my chest about this whole, you have to know how to code before you're allowed to code, and you're using ChatGPT as a crutch, and you're not knowing it, you're not actually learning anything. Yeah, it was certainly interesting. And as I thought about this some more, and I thought about what someone said in chat yesterday, I thought about this and I'm like, well, I'm not really an imposter. I'm a learner. I'm learning publicly, and learning publicly like takes guts. And it's really easy for people to critique from the sidelines, say, oh, well, you don't know what you're doing. You're teaching people incorrectly. You're harming people that actually want to learn. Like, these were some of the things that people were saying. And man, it's hard to hear that kind of stuff, especially when you're a small little content creator just starting out, trying to figure out who you are and what your streams are going to be about. And I thought about it, like, yeah, this is exactly the kind of thing that I'm trying to break away from. It's hard to, as I say, get in the arena and just try it and fail publicly. Yeah, and I as I thought about this some more, I said, I'm not using ChatGPT. It's not cheating. It's a tool. Just like, do we shame people for using a calculator in math? Do we shame people for using a spell checker when they're writing? Or do we shame people for using a metronome for music or a translator app to speak a language? Like, that's kind of what I was feeling like, is like, hold on a second here. That's what you're doing. You're saying, hey, dum-dum, you need to go learn code and learn the basics of Java before you're allowed to use these tools. And I was like, that's gatekeeping. That is 100% gatekeeping. No, you go learn our way first, and then you're allowed into this little club. And I thought about that, and I said, to some degree, the fact that I'm like building something while I'm trying to learn at the same time is, I think, a strength. Well, there's a lot of people that learn better by doing it hands-on and failing in the process. They don't know everything at first. And if you wait till you know everything before you're even allowed to start, like, you're never going to want to start. It's too monumental of a task. It's too intimidating. And that's exactly how coding felt to me. And I never wanted to do it before because it sounded so impossible. And then I get this, tool like ChatGPT, and I'm feeling so inspired and so empowered. And then to immediately have people be like, oh, well, you're cheating, is an interesting kind of process to, like, not only am I learning how to stream, how to code, how to build plugins on top of figuring out audio for the very first time, like, this is all like a 2-week process of going, okay, how do I get like thumbnails, and how do I do like multi-streaming and titles and descriptions, and also try to promote on TikTok and Twitter and all this kind of stuff. and learn a new program, learn how to stream, and learn how to code all at the same time is a lot. And so, sure, yeah, I'm using ChatGPT. There is no way I could see someone, even with the years and years of like industry experience that I have, being able to pull this off that quickly without the tool of ChatGPT. And if you want to call that cheating, I guess that's your right. Um, yeah, yeah, and like you're saying, I hope I'm a complete novice jumping into an advanced AP class without really having taken the prereqs and trying to make it work. And not to discredit people, you know, to some degree there is some truth to the criticism. Learning the basics is important. You know, as I thought about it, if you are using a translator app to, let's say, speak Spanish, and you don't know any Spanish at all, well, how do you know that the translator app is accurately conveying what you wanted to say? And if it makes a mistake, you don't have any way of correcting it or knowing that you even needed to correct it in the first place. And so it's this really kind of like trust that you're putting in this tool in order to make sure that it's doing what you want it to do. And here's the insane thing: AI is like that, except that we can modify and correct the tool and make it better as we interact with it. We're not stuck with it always making mistakes and we're clueless to its mistakes. We get to see those mistakes live in real time and go, yeah, nope, it's making up some stuff. I need to figure out how to better use this tool. You know, I don't think using ChatGPT is necessarily like a substitute, or like I'm pretending that I'm not using AI. I'm being very honest that I'm using AI and showing people. And I think that's okay. I'm not trying to say, learn from me, I'm an expert. I'm saying, you know, hey, if I can inspire you to go out and feel like you don't have to know everything before you can get started, that's what I hope I'm accomplishing here. And the whole thing of like teaching people wrong, I'm not trying to say I'm teaching you the right way to code. You know, if you learn something from me, great. You know, hey, that's awesome. But the idea to tell people that like you need to go away and learn in private before you're allowed to create publicly is messed up. Like I'm trying to balance this criticism with um being true to myself. I'm gonna read some of your chat here, High Hopes. If you're applying for a job claiming to be fluent, then depending on translation software, that's different. I think others will feel encouraged by your approach. I hope so. You know, I just had a lot of these thoughts, and I thought, you know, am I misleading people? No, I think I'm not. I think I'm being very honest about using ChatGPT. I'm not trying to pretend that I am coding this all from scratch. I'm literally on my screen having ChatGPT open. You're watching me copy and paste stuff. That's just how it's going to go, you know. And over time, I do want to learn the basics and I do want to understand more of what I'm doing so that eventually, yeah, maybe I don't need AI. And I now have learned through using AI as my teacher to mimic long enough that now I can do it on my own. That's kind of my hope. And I think also the criticism of I'm harming people by them learning potentially incorrectly from me. Maybe I could do a better job of communicating in my streams that that's not really what we're doing here. You're watching me publicly learn and fail, which, I mean, that's pretty vulnerable to just open yourself up to the internet. And the internet loves to hate. They absolutely love to hate. They will tell you every day that you suck, you're a piece of garbage, and you need to do X, Y, and Z better. And for those people that are watching my streams that know how to code and thinking that, you know, oh my gosh, this is like nails on a chalkboard watching you struggle with basic tasks, my stream isn't for you. It's really not, because that's what you're going to be seeing. You're going to be seeing a complete novice making a complete fool of himself live on stream, at least for the, I don't know how long, foreseeable future. Yeah, if you want to go learn from a professional, as High Hopes is saying, go spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and you'll still learn bad habits. No, no, I don't think there's a single course out there that you can take that is going to guarantee you don't make mistakes and you learn perfectly. And you are going to have all the tools and all the knowledge, and you're never going to have a time where you need to go Google or use AI to help you figure out a problem. So anyway, I hope that what I'm doing is I'm opening the doors for other people to feel excited about coding and to be empowered to say, hey, you know what? Using ChatGPT is fine. Are you going to struggle? Is it going to make mistakes? And then you're going to struggle with its mistakes because it told you, hey, this is the way, and then you find out it's not the way? Yeah, you are. I mean, shoot, I was under the wrong assumption of how items were handled by the void. ChatGPT was so positive it got it right the first time. Granted, I didn't know any different, so I believed it. And then I spent hours being frustrated when it didn't work, and then had the epiphany that, like, hey, maybe ChatGPT is wrong. Maybe I fundamentally misunderstand how this process works. And then even more frustrating, ChatGPT turns around and says, hey, actually it's handled like this, and it got it wrong again. And so I spent more hours, learning just that was wrong. And, initially that might seem kind of painful to watch and painful to go through, but at the same time, I now know on a minute level exactly how and when and where items are handled by the void. I wouldn't have learned that if I just got the right answer day one. If I hadn't have struggled. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. I am willing to take the time out of my life to learn this stuff in this messy way so that other people maybe don't have to. But then they can still feel like it's okay to learn and make mistakes. So, I don't know. My final thoughts. I think some people always say you can't do it that way. There will always be people that want to gatekeep and claim that you're not a master and you need to go be a master before you can engage with us. And I just don't think that's powerful. Or sorry, that's valid. I don't know. These are just thoughts that are floating around in my head. I wanted to at least get them out there, make a little video about this. So if anyone is watching this in the future and is saying, well, I don't think I can do X or Y, or I'm not good enough, I hope that this is a message that inspires you to say, you don't need to know everything. And who cares if you're using tools and aids and resources to speed up your process? As long as your goal is to learn and those tools are helping you get there, I think that's fine. Anyway, on that note, I just wanted to do a quick little video, a quick little stream, get my thoughts out there. I've got a busy day ahead of me, so I can't keep going here on this stream for a long time, but I hope this short little video or stream helps someone out there. So, with that said, thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully catch you on another stream.